Hey guys, it's Kurt and Sean here with Cracked Housing Fab.
Today we're going to head into Tractor Supply and pick up some more materials. Here we are.
Just kidding. All right guys, we made it back from Tractor Supply. We got the supplies that we needed. So we're gonna get to work on Not So Simplicity. What are we gonna do today?
So I was thinking that we can work on getting the tensioner for the chain built for the back, because we want one that we can adjust. We kind of built a temporary one, so we kind of want to make a permanent one.
Okay, so we put this tensioner, obviously if you watched our other videos, you would have seen that we put this chain tensioner in here from before. And we kind of realized after the fact that it wasn't really gonna be the best. So Kurt had a much better idea of what we were gonna do. So yeah, he's gonna show you what that's gonna be.
So what we were thinking is we'll cut this one out, clean this all out. We're gonna weld a piece of metal across here with a couple tabs, and the arm will mount to this with a bushing so it pivots nice. And then we're actually going to use a turnbuckle for an adjustment. We'll cut the loops off so we can weld it on, but you'll actually be able to adjust it with a wrench and get the tension just right. And I think that'll be a more solid and more adjustable approach. All right, so we're working on the bracket, the tensioner. So we had this cool sleeve that we cut out and pressed into here. So this will actually pivot on the tractor, and we'll weld this together in a little bit. But we're going to actually make a idler sprocket. This is very close to fitting. So we're just gonna open this up a little bit so this will press in, and then we can tack weld it. Yeah, so you guys, it was actually for a, what kind of chain was this?
It's a 520
520
chain.
chain.
Yeah.
We couldn't find anywhere online a 520 chain idler sprocket with a bearing. We looked everywhere. If you guys do see one, maybe kind of share the link with us, because we'd like to see if they're out there. But for now, we're going to make one.
Why don't we show them, at least maybe take this over here and we'll show them. Yeah. Throw the bolt at me. That way we just kind of see what we're doing.
Yeah, of course. Tight tolerance. Maybe here.
See, we're not perfect. There we go.
It goes together.
We promise.
I promise. Anyway, we'll work on that.
Yeah, that's, you get the idea.
This will go in here.
It'd be actually easier down here.
Imagine the bearing in there. So it'll be similar to that, and we will find somewhere to put the turnbuckle, which will be an adjustment. So it'll be very rigid. So I think it'll be pretty good. And we'll, you know, modify this. But
all right, back to work.
Yep. All right, so we have the tensioner put together. It turned out phenomenal. It's very rigid. And we have this turnbuckle here. And as we tighten it, see how the chain's getting tighter? Yeah, that's nice. And then there's a jam nut so we can snug this up so it won't move on us. But I mean, it's rigid, nothing moves. Like, it's perfect.
Turned out awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys, on that note, tonight is Friday night. Kurt and I worked all day today, and then we went to Tractor Supply and came home and worked on this thing. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of sleep, and we'll be back at it in the morning. Good morning, guys. Just coming out and grabbing some stuff out of the truck. It is a beautiful sunshiny morning here in Michigan, and it's almost spring. We're getting there, guys. Kurt's working on some stuff here in the garage. So we're going to get started. And I think we're figuring out some of the chain tensioner stuff some more.
Yeah, so the tensioner turned out great, but we feel like we need another roller here just to keep the chain from bouncing. So we're going to keep it simple, weld a little bracket down, drill a hole for that, and have it just barely put any tension on there, and that'll keep the chain from bouncing. I think it'll turn out good.
All right, cool.
All right, so we got our little roller here installed. Barely touches the chain, which is perfect. Our whole setup for the chain system, I think, is great, and we should be able to run it like this. And then if we have to tweak anything, we can add or kind of tweak it as we go, but at least we have a solid setup for now.
What's next?
Well, I think we're going to start on the brakes, on the front brakes. We already have the master cylinder installed that we did on the last video. And we have calipers on the wheels that came on, so we'll just put the pieces together.
All right, guys, so we're getting to work on putting the brake lines on, and Kurt had the great idea of using some Chevy truck brake lines. They worked out perfect, and they're cheap. So Kurt's gonna show you what we did.
Yeah, so basically, this was all the same size as the four-wheeler. I had to modify this just a little bit, grind a little off the tab so it would slide on. But the length is perfect. Then the mount that came on it from the factory ended up being in a perfect spot to mount to the shock bolt. We just kind of cut the extra tabs off. But as you can see, with the wheel turning, it clears everything. That worked out perfect, and it looks good. And we'll get the other side done, and then we'll go up underneath and figure out how we're gonna route this. Because eventually we have to get it to the master cylinder.
Yep, and then so that bracket had some of these tabs on there. We just chopped them off, and then Kurt had to grind a little bit in this area right here, and it worked. They fit perfect. Couldn't ask for better. All right, guys, a couple things. We had some people in the comments and on Instagram and stuff asking us about when we're gonna drive this. We're getting close. We're just as excited as you guys are to see us ride this thing, and we can't wait. Also, another thing, we still have our stickers available. So we'll put the link to those down in the description so you guys can go grab some of those and help us support the build. Another thing, I got ambitious last Sunday and I painted the wall in the garage. Painted it kind of like a dark gray color, and I drywalled and insulated the walls a couple years ago and just never like went back and taped and mudded everything. So what I'm gonna do, I've got my sand paddles hanging there right now, but I want to hang like a bunch of parts of all the stuff up here. So we got like a shock and the old muffler and stuff like that off the bike, and some old grill off my old truck and stuff like that. So I just think it'd be cool to have this wall full with just like parts and stuff like that. Okay, so Kurt was working on the brake line stuff and realized that we didn't have the correct size fittings and all that stuff. So we're gonna run over to the store real quick and grab some.
Hey, so we just got back from the store. We picked up these cool little adapters to go from 3/8 to 7/16 because the fittings we had obviously didn't work. So thread the adapters in, so we got them on both, and then we can do everything else in the 3/8. All right, so the brake lines are coming together very nicely. We have the fitting here, the banjo bolt through the metal line. We rebent this to go up underneath. That worked out really nice. It stays out of the way of everything. And then over here, we kind of just crossed the hoses because they were a little long to a T-block, but it worked out nice. And we're gonna replace this with one that has a hole so we can mount it. Right now we just have a zip tie on there just to hold it in place, but it worked out really nice. And then we'll add a little mount to each one of these so the the line doesn't wear through. And eventually we will add a little shield across here. It might be like expanded metal or something, but it will be protected so sticks and stuff don't rip that out. But the way it lays out, very happy with how the brake lines came together.
So we finished the brakes out. Those turned out awesome. Kurt did a great job on those and that looks super cool. So next thing, we're gonna jump down here and we have this CV axle that we just kind of welded for mock-up purposes. So we have a new one. We're gonna put that on and then we're gonna get the splines here and this drilled to be able to go through the drive shaft. So that'll be next.
All right, guys, so we're wrapping up for the day. It turned out really good, everything we worked on. We went to drill the CV shafts, and the metal here is actually hardened steel. So we're gonna order some special drill bits so we're able to drill those. But besides that, we'll do that on a later video. But it came together very nice.
All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching this video, and we're getting close. We're excited to ride it. Thanks for checking out Cracked Housing Fab.